Have you ever wondered how Rin and Shido being on the same team is working? Why are they on the same field together? Who got this to work? Continue watching this video to find out. With the Bastard Munchen vs PXG match coming up soon after this current match wraps up, it seems like it would be a decent time to start talking about another undefeated team in the Neo-Egoist League, PXG. The team consists of mainly 6 known players in Rin, Shido, Karasu, Tokimitsu, Zentetsu, and Nanase, with Julian Loki as their coach or master striker. After witnessing what happened between Rin and Shido, you would think that they would never play with each other again. However, they ended up being teammates on PXG, which looks like it should have been a disaster from the outside. So, how did PXG make this duo work? We all know that Rin and Shido don't really mesh well together. We have seen instances of these in pretty much every interaction that they had. They are currently playing for the same team under PXG, and they are currently undefeated alongside Bastard Munchen. Some may say that their individual talent alone is what's keeping them afloat, but I would like to believe that PXG ended up making it work due to some factors that I will get into later. I'll be diving deeper into these two players and why they don't get along with each other. Itoshi Rin is considered to be the best player in bluelock due to his complete skill set as a striker. When he was younger, he used to play more instinctively, somewhat similar to Shido, but he ended up taking a more calculated and methodical approach to the game as he played with his brother. He is incredibly goal-driven as he aims to overcome his brother Itoshi Sai, and he planned on taking on that goal by entering the bluelock system. Throughout the story, we can see that Rin has lost the true passion and love for the sport of football ever since he was left behind by his brother. This leads us to believe that Rin doesn't really enjoy the process of playing football, but rather the end as he beats Itoshi Sai. The whole bluelock system is just a means to an end for him. Now, when we take a look at Shido on the other hand, he is quite the opposite of Rin, but not at the same time. At the core of Shido's personality is a drive to play football because it is a biological phenomenon that makes him feel complete. Shido scores goals to pass on his genes and leave his mark on the world as it is his sole focus. He also gets excited from playing high-level football with other high-level players and is bored if people cannot make him explode or don't explode themselves. This was evident in the bluelock vs Japan U20 match when he wanted to explode after scoring a goal. He is also completely self-sufficient and instinctive in his football. A noticeable trait of Shido's has been his use of violence to get what he wants, often being unwilling to work with most people, especially Itoshi Rin. I saw a Reddit post that would give a simpler analogy between the two. We have seen instances wherein players overcome Rin with their flow states due to it being unpredictable, which goes against Rin's way of thinking. It ruins the dance. It's like a well-choreographed waltz taking place. Then a random breakdancer steps on the floor and starts moving to an entirely different beat than the one that's being played. The skill displayed may be admirable, but it ruined the performance. Likewise, Shido would just hate to be sat on the sidelines, watching these two waltzers move so carefully across the dance floor. He wants to jump in and start playing some loud pop music which he can bop to. Shido is then considered an anomaly for Rin because he can't read him. However, after watching the U20 match, there is a major possibility that Rin has shifted from his calculated style of play to his more natural way of playing, which is by playing instinctively, just like how he played while in his flow state. If you're enjoying this video so far, then don't forget to like this video and subscribe to let me know that you want more videos just like this. As the only two people who scored against the World 5, they ended up being ranked as the number 1 and number 2 player in the 3rd selection. With this, they would end up playing with each other for 4 games under Team A. One instance wherein their plays collided was during the first match between Team A and Team B. As Hiyori attempts to lob the ball into the goal box, both Rin and Shido would end up having the same idea and try to score the goal. With Rin reading the field and going for the optimal play, and Shido following his intuition, it would end up in a collapse leading to Team B scoring another goal. They both play for the sake of their own goals, but through different ways. Two magnets alike that stop them from working together. They just can't seem to get along as they ended up having a brawl at the end of the match. After Isagi's goal via the flow, Rin could not accept Isagi's masterclass of a play, especially when Shido was on Isagi's side. Rin would end up going all out since the game was over. Since they would get disqualified after any forms of violence during the selection, they ended up keeping their hands to themselves for the rest of the games up until the last match against Team C. As the last match is about to end, Rin and Shido would end up fighting for the ball once again. Rin would end up scoring the winning goal against Team C while getting tangled up with Shido. Rin then proceeds to get mopped by Shido until he gets electrocuted by the body's shock function. Because of this, Shido would end up detained and fall out of the starting roster for the bluelock 11. Many people would say that Karasu would most likely be the main factor in bringing both Rin and Shido together with his leadership and analytical abilities, and that may be the case. However, I would like to believe that there could be a trump card that can allow them to work together. Nanase was one of the few characters we've seen play with both Rin and Shido together on the same field. Nanase may not be that great of a player, but he may have a significant role in PXG. In Chapter 101, we see that Nanase decides to support Isagi as he can visualize his movements. This was because of Itoshi, Rin, and Shido's movements being too high level for him. As Karasu tries to stop Isagi with his hand, Nanase calls out to Isagi to dodge it. This could imply that Nanase would end up being another set of eyes for both Rin and Shido on PXG. He could end up being the player that prevents the both of them from colliding with each other, but this could still be a reach. However, with Julian Loki's help in PXG, he could contribute to Nanase's development in keeping up with both Rin and Shido. Another factor could be his cheerful attitude, which could provide a more refreshing atmosphere compared to the more hostile environment that they are used to. Similar to Julian Loki, they seem to not have a hostile attitude like the rest, so their presence may heavily influence the attitudes of both Rin and Shido. As a master striker who has gone up against them for his hand in the World 5 match, he may be able to build some sort of relationship with them that would allow Rin and Shido's further development. Now here's the thing. When taking a look at the current rankings, it would seem like Nanase would not make it as a member of Japan's U20 team since only the top 23 players in the NEL will make it. Right now, we know the current top 20, but there are still players who are better than Nanase who still aren't ranked yet, such as Hiyori, Tokimitsu, Zentetsu, Raichi, and Igarashi the GOAT. Therefore, realistically, it is looking like Nanase might just end up on the sidelines for PXG, as it would not make sense to give Nanase such development when he won't even make it to the top 23. PXG is already a stacked lineup with the players itself that we know of. However, it shouldn't be a surprise if PXG had a new Gen 11 member up their sleeve. PXG is known to be a club for developing young natural talent such as Loki himself, so it would make sense for a new Gen 11 member to be in PXG. Since France would be the gateway for upcoming superstars, why wouldn't other young superstars want to play for France, especially since its league has the largest market? The match against Bastard Munchen would also have plenty of rivalry rematches such as Isagi vs Rin, Kunigami vs Shido, and Hiyori vs Karasu. This way, who would Kaiser's matchup be aside from Loki? It would make sense for him to be matched up against another new Gen 11 member, especially since it's the last match. However, that doesn't mean that there has to be another new Gen 11 member since FC Barca and Manshine City did not have one anyway. With this, there might have been another player that we have not been introduced yet who has been keeping the duo in check. To sum it all up, Rin and Shido are opposites but alike at the same time, with someone bridging them together who knows what kind of mayhem this duo can cause. There are some people who have the potential to do this with factors such as Nanase's personality, Karasu's leadership, Loki who has a mix of both, or even the potential new Gen 11 that may be introduced, assuming that they have one. Only time will tell how PXG was able to handle this chaotic duo. What do you think happened that allowed Rin and Shido to work together? Who made this happen? I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have other what if ideas that you'd like to see, let me know down in the comments. Have you ever wondered what would have happened if Isagi had Kaiser Impact? Check this video out right here. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content just like this. Thank you for watching.